Hi everyone, and welcome to another video in the series Unlocking Software Development. I'm Keith Vivekananda, and today we're going to talk about automation, specifically within what we can do within Office 365 to automate some of the manual processes that we have day to day. So let's jump into a demo of what that could look like. So I'm going to pretend I'm a salesperson and I need to get a quote, and I need to do a lot of things around that task, and it's usually the same thing that I do. This is how we're doing it right now. I open a Word template and then I save a copy in a folder I want to work in. I fill it in, and then I'll attach it to an email and send it to the approver. Usually that's my boss. Sometimes that person doesn't get back to me quickly, so sometimes I have to follow up with that person. I message them. Sometimes I even text them. And if my boss finds out that there's a few changes, sometimes we have to go back and forth, attach it, download it, attach it to an email, send it back, and vice versa, and keep doing it until we have a file that we're happy with. Once it's been approved, I download the attachment and then upload it to my final area. It's a SharePoint folder, so everyone can have access to it. Of course, I also send it out to the client. Now, when we're talking about automation, what can we do? It's all about minimizing the amount of steps it takes and automating it. So if we're looking to automate it, it's as simple as let's create a quote, send it for approval, and get it approved. So I'm here in my Microsoft Teams environment, and as you can see, I belong to a few teams here, and I like to do a lot of my work here. So I'm going to click on the sales team and click on general, and this is where I can actually create a quote directly from Microsoft Teams. I don't have to go into Office just yet. So I'm going to click on create a quote here, and then I'm going to click on new here. And from here, I could type in all the information I need. So once I save it, we can see here at the top, this is a listing here. And I'm going to go into my files, because what this actually does is as soon as I fill this out, it creates a template. It takes a template and automatically fills it in. There's a template folder which houses the template. There's a working folder which shows you all the quotes I'm working on, and then finally a final folder which has all the quotes that have been approved. So I'm going to click on working, and I'm actually going to work on the actual quote. So here it is. This was created a few seconds ago. I'm going to click on that, and it loads up right in Microsoft Teams in the Word application. I could always open this in the desktop app, but let's make this very quickly because I only have a few changes I want to make. So okay, as you can see, I made my changes, but I didn't have to fill out any of this stuff. You remember how we filled it in earlier. There's an invoice number, and it also shows my name here. I'm logged in as Megan Bowen, as you can see here, and that has automatically showed and reflected right here. So because this is Word Online, I could just click on close and it automatically saves it anyways. And now we're back into the Files tab, and I'm ready to send this out. So I'm going to open it in SharePoint. And this is going to allow me to select the file, and we're going to start a Power Automate around it. So I'm going to click on these three dots, select Automate, and then this is the flow that we created to start the approval. So I'm going to go into the quote approval. And as you notice, it's asking for a dollar amount. So it's 150,000. And the reason why I asked for this is because if it's under 100,000, it goes to my peers for review. But because it's over 150,000, there's an extra rule that says, or extra logic that says, if it's over 100K, send it over to my manager. So we're going to run the flow. And as you can see, it's already been sent out. So what's going to happen next is my manager is going to get a Microsoft Teams message directly from Flow saying that, hey, you have something you need to approve. So here I am logged in as Megan's boss. And I'm going to click on my chat because I see I have a new message and it is from the flow. And I can see I can directly approve it from here. I did not open up an email. I didn't open up Word just yet. So I'm just going to click on this and see what this quote is all about. And it loads up Microsoft Word Online. And it shows everything that we saw before. It looks like Megan missed out on the actual subtotal, and also the sales tax and the total. So I'm going to fill that in. And I don't actually have to send this document back because, as you remember, this is actually hosted in Microsoft Teams. And this is a live document with some live content too as well. So I'm just going to put 10,000 as a sales tax, which makes it 160,000. All right, so we are just going to close this up because it's on the web. It's automatically saved. And then I'm going to click on approve. At the same time, if I wanted, I could click reject and also give a comment, but I'm just going to click on approve and I will say approved, added sales tax and total, and click submit. So now this is going to go back and say that it's approved, and we're going to go back here, and like I showed you before, I'm going to go back into the file folder. I'm going to get a message, which let's go back to the sales team, and it shows you that message. So it gave me an @ so I got a notification saying, hey, Megan, the sales quote has finished. It's been approved. And this is the comment. So let's go to the file folder. Go to final. And now you have my quote as a PDF. So I can take this PDF because it used to be a Word file, and now we can attach this PDF maybe to an email and send it to a client. Now, you might be thinking, okay, this is great. We exactly took, we created a quote, we sent it for approval, and we approved it. And then now it's in SharePoint, ready to be sent out to the customer. But what if some of the components I want in between are not Microsoft products? That's a great thing about automation. It doesn't have to be Microsoft specific products. It could be something like Salesforce. Maybe instead of it going into SharePoint, the quote can go directly into Salesforce and we can change some of the fields within Salesforce. And you can see a lot of there's over 230 built-in connectors, but on top of that, we can even create custom connectors. Going back to built-in connectors, it could be Salesforce, it could be MailChimp, it could be Instagram, it could be Box. And even as a custom connector, maybe you have a proprietary software that you folks built, and we can connect directly into that data and vice versa. So some cool things you can do with automation. And if you folks need help around that, we're always here to help you on your automation journey.